If I was 18 years old again, I would ignore 90% of what everyone tells you to do. And I would focus on these 6 things that will change your life. Number 1, do not chase people just to be in friendship groups that are half-hearted. So you can say to other people, look, I have friends. You get hella energy leakages and you'll just be emotionally distracted all the time. And what people say is very, very true. You are what you hang around with. It's like telling a poor person, why are you poor? They just simply are. It's their identity. So you can tell yourself, yeah, I'm the different one. I am not like them. The people that you are associated with does give a ripple effect to who you are. People might not know who you are, your core values and all of that, but they can look at the people that you hang around to gauge and get an idea of who you are as a person, how you think, and what you are basically telling the world. Like, this is the label that I am with. So whatever you guys see, I'm also that. Even though you don't move like that, it still applies. And I think when you're like around that age, you want to like be around so many people, you want to get to know so many people, you just want to be everywhere. But there's a problem with being everywhere. I personally feel like it's not flattering. It shows how, no offense, like a person of many friends is friends to none. I wholeheartedly believe in that quote because it doesn't make sense energetically. It doesn't make sense even like I bet science can back it and say like humans can't occupy too many humans even emotionally, like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't need 10, 15 people to emotionally regulate you. Like, come on. Number 2 is actually focusing on things and meeting its deadlines, meaning actually completing things, having a proper completion for anything that you have your mind set into. So I'm not saying anything crazy, but having a simplistic routine. It doesn't have to be anything over the top, like waking up, doing certain things. It becomes a lifestyle. You can say it becomes a ritual. Having things that are systematically put in place so you become a better version of yourself, so you're not scattered in your life, is actually making sense. Also realize that like men and women are always around. Like, if you are just bored one day, you can literally go on a Saturday night out, you can go to some bar, you can do whatever you want. You can literally meet anyone, anytime, anywhere, any location. It doesn't matter. What matters is, I feel like a lot of people, when they're around 18, 19, they become so relationship focused that they forget themselves. They forget, like, this is the time where I should be grinding it out. This is the time where I should be birthing something into existence. I have been a slave, no pun intended, for like 18 years of my life or 17 years of my life in school. Now, now I have the opportunity to do whatever I want. I have that freedom, that time freedom, financial freedom, whatever the case is. So I might as well put it in something that will give me a better compound. It will give me a better investment down the line. It can be for myself. The biggest investment, by the way, is to always invest in yourself, whether big or small. Any investment, you'll always reap something out of it. So decent to men, decent to women, because at the end of the day, they're everywhere. So it's like, why would you give such a big chunk of your life towards relationships when these relationships, I'm not gonna lie, like if it's not giving marriage, like if you guys are not getting married, like if there is no marriage, if it's just dating situationships, what is the point? Like, people out here entertain people, but forget to realize we are energetic beings. So when you speak to someone, people can literally take from your life force energy. People are different to you. So when you are in the mix with certain people that you don't see in a long time, do you know what I mean? And you're just entertaining them, you might think like, oh, like, yeah, you're winning, you're, you know what I'm trying to say. But at the end of the day, trust me, it's not worth it. If, you know, that's just me. But that's just me. I feel like relationships are not worth it, especially when you're like around 18, 19. You're better off locking in because the one, you're not gonna find them down in the club. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Even if it's a simple situationship, it's not worth it. That's why it's called the situationship. Get out of the situation. What are you doing? There's a saying where energy goes, energy flows. So whatever you put your attention onto, it flows. That saying is not there, is not said for decoration. When you spend time with people, even if it's a situationship, even if it's like anyone that you might think you're not taking seriously, or if you are, good for you. But I'm just saying 90% of people, like solid 70% relationships around 18, 19, they're not giving. Like, focus on yourself. You'll find the one when you do your thing. I'm just saying, why would you meet someone who's not quality? Why, like, imagine Would you rather meet someone who's quality and has the same mindset and everything as you do your thing? You meet them just randomly, divine timing, whatever. Or would you rather force yourself to like be with someone who's not even quality? They don't have like anything going for them. They're just dead. Like you might like them for their looks, but it's like, where's the substance at? You will get bored and you'll just move to someone else. So I'm just telling you, like, why would you waste time? Like you could have built a whole business. You could have, do you know what I mean? You could, yeah. Number three is mastering your mind. Everything else will naturally follow. Things like eating whole food, staying away from, no offense, McDonald's. The CEO of McDonald's didn't even eat it. That should tell you everything. I'm just saying that should tell you everything. So eating whole food, you don't have to be like so calculated about like food and stuff. I know nowadays there's so many like things that are said about food and stuff. As long as you can eat whole food, fiber, your greens, you're calm, you're good, you're Gucci. So like, things like that, mastering your mind. If you find yourself like you're in a habit that doesn't serve you, like having the emotional intelligence to sit back and be like, why am I indulging myself into this? I felt like when I was around 18, I didn't really have any emotional intelligence. I was just living life on autopilot, and I think that was one of the biggest issues, because down the line I found myself like almost like a mouse. Like I was in this wheel that I was running around, running to where I don't know, but I was running. So I feel like living your life more consciously is very beautiful, and I believe meditation, nothing crazy, just silent meditation, is the cornerstone to transformation and even change within yourself, nothing crazy, but yeah. When I was 18, 19, I don't think there was a time where like I ever went out in nature. I would go gym then and there, but it was because at the time everyone used to go to the gym. And I think when I first signed up to the gym, it was because of my friend. I actually didn't want to go to the gym. I only wanted to go because I wanted to socialize like everyone else. And I've personally believed, do you see that mindset? Like even the way I approached that mindset wasn't given, because I didn't last in the gym. I would only go to talk and that's it. I had like no seriousness in the gym. And at the time, I didn't work, or maybe I did work, but I wasn't making a lot of money. So gym memberships are not like they're not cheap either, especially if you're getting it as a student. Like you'll be paying like 500, 600, 7, 8, 900 even. So like yeah, like have your priorities put in place. Number four, stop all the dopamine scrolls and stop thinking like a consumer and start thinking like a creator. Because naturally, think about it. God created us, God is the creator. We are a byproduct of God. So we are here in this like physical plane, this world, whatever you want to call it. And we are always constantly creating things. Like someone had to create this lip stain, whatever. Someone had to create this computer in front of me, this laptop, this MacBook, whatever. Everything was a creation first. So like naturally we are made in the image of God. It talks about it in the Abrahamic religions. I'm not trying to get into it too deep, but you guys know what I'm trying to say. So, by natural default, innately, we like creating things, we like evolving, we have to evolve. It's very important. It's like almost essential for us to evolve, whether it's spiritually, physically, every single year, because if you're not evolving, you're becoming stagnant, and stagnant energy is never good. It doesn't serve you, whether you're stagnant mentally, whether you're stagnant in any way, shape, or form, like it's never good. I personally believe when you observe nature, when you observe things that don't have the same consciousness as us, you see that they are constantly in natural flow. There is a flow, there's a rhythm to it. And if you are a byproduct of God, and if God is saying like, yo, you're made in my image, then you have to then come to the understanding, all right, cool, if I'm made in God's image, then I also have to flow. I can't be stagnant, because if you're stagnant, you like, like you're not evolving, you get confused, and then you forget who you are, but you've been knowing who you are, you're just not conscious of it. I feel like that's what social media does to people, especially like when social media was at its peak time back in 2018, because that's when I graduated. I was always on my phone, always on my phone. screen time hour going up. Like, I have no business. It's like I was doing a shift on my phone, doing this. Imagine, day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out. What is this doing in my life? Like, what? Am I getting knowledge? Am I getting smarter? Am I getting, like, you know what I mean? And also, your life depends on your ability to focus. If you cannot focus on anything at a time, you will go nowhere. Your focus is so important. It's your currency. It's the thing that will give you money. It is the thing that will make you successful. It is the thing that will get you money, get you abundance, whatever you like in life. If you can't even put your attention to serve you, then what is the point? Like, literally, what is the point? I also would say cutting all vices, or at least having a basic attack to your vices. So I know of, just straight in my head, when I see 18, 19-year-olds nowadays after school, they party hard. Even there is this thing here in Australia where after year 12, there is this thing where all the year 12s go to this party, they get drunk, they get lit, it's like a AP, it's like an after party after graduation, and the whole state does it. I forgot the name. And it just goes to show you, like, drinking culture, partying, living this life, having no FOMO is so pushed upon 18, 19, 20-year-olds that, like, if you go to the club, like, majority of them are like not even 25. They're not even 25, they're not even 24. They are literally 18, 19-year-olds. And it just goes to show you, like, drinking problems is a real thing. You don't want to be one of those people where, like, you have bad drinking habits, or like you do the, you know what I'm trying to say? So you need to cut off your vices, or at least deal with your vices so you can be a normal functioning citizen. You don't want to be one of those people that is reliant on something. Like, that's such a sad life. And I know in this day and age, people vape, people do all types of things. Don't be reliant on it, because people who are reliant on it go nowhere in life. It's not good for you. Like, I don't have to say much. You already know. Yeah. Number 5 is learn a high paying skill. I wish someone told me this when I was 18. But anyways, learn a high paying skill. Get into what's really good, what the meta is at your time. So I wish I did that. Obviously, I didn't do that. I was dabbling in and out of content creation. So things like personal brand, sales is very important. Teaching yourself a skill that is very transferable into so many different avenues, and it will always serve you. You don't need no certificate, no diploma saying you've done work and study for 60 hours, for 60 weeks, whatever, for 2 years. You can literally learn it yourself and do it the same day, and you get to see, you know what I'm trying to say? So definitely dive into that. I would definitely say that to my younger version. I had so many time, but I just didn't know so at least now I know. Number 6, you need to have a big why for everything that you do. Should be the reason why you are always getting up. 18, 19, 20, I had no big why. I think I did. I think I did subconsciously, but I didn't make it conscious, so I wasn't aware. My big why is literally my mom. I live for my mom. I breathe for my mom. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you can't do it for yourself, because sometimes, like, I would procrastinate. I would, like, you know what I mean? I feel like having a big why is so important, because it makes you want to go hard for the people or for whoever. You know, what I'm trying to say? Because if you had no big why, then you would just live every single day mindlessly, not giving two F's. But when you have a big why, like, oh, like, my mom did so much for me, my mom sacrificed so much for me, my parents sacrificed so much, they took hella L's, they struggled so much, they did this and that for me to be in this position. That is my big why. I want to impress them. I want to give them the same energy back, because one thing about life, and I'll tell you this for free, if you don't finesse it or milk it, it will milk you and finesse you. And it does not care. So you might as well keep your cards to yourself and play life, like, do the biggest you know. So now that I am aware, now that I know what I'm doing this for, it just makes it so much more better. Like, I want my mom to live a best life, to do what she always wanted. I want to be that provider for her, and I know I will. You know what I'm trying to say? If you do these 6 things for the next 2 to 3 years, you will surpass the people in your age, like 90% of the people in your age.